News Channel 11's Ansley Daniels been covering the story since the beginning.
Yeah, Ansley, dozens of agencies, organizations have pitched in and volunteered in the search for Summer. Now with these efforts scaled back, what do we know about this search and where it goes from here?
Josh and Sarah, that's a really hard question to answer, but budget season is underway for a struggling Hawkins County, and that is for sure. And commissioners are now working to figure out how to help fund the sheriff's department and the other rescue squads that were there on the scene working to find the little girl.
And this is a disaster, right? So a little girl went missing. This is as big of a disaster as you can imagine for us, really.
As all eyes were on Hawkins County during the ground search for Summer Wells, commissioners want to be sure those departments are funded.
A search of this scale and of this magnitude, I felt like probably drained some resources for the rescue agencies that are volunteer and for our sheriff's department. You know, I know there are literally thousands of man hours spent out there, and it's not over. And you know what that looks like for our budget.
Last week, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson said he didn't have exact totals for how much the search for the missing girl cost his department.
My patrol division, that's the officers goes out and answer the calls and stuff, and my school resource officers, just those two groups alone, they accumulated over 3,200 hours. That's not counting the rest of the division.
The search also highlighted issues with the communication system in the county and depleted funds and resources from other agencies, including rescue squads and those that are volunteer-based.
It's going to cost a lot of money, and the thing is that if it's going to cost this amount of money, we just have to figure out how to resource the sheriff's department. It's not a matter of, you know, it's going to cost this much money, so we can't continue the search. That's not part of the conversation at all. This conversation is more about how can we resource our first responders to be able to do the job we paid them to do.
Hawkins County is heading into this fiscal year on a $2 million deficit and plans to make up the money from their reserve fund. While money can be moved around, Commissioner Hannah Weiniger wonders what other costs the counties could have if funding had to be cut back for those agencies.
If these rescue organizations fold and the county, I mean, we have to have these organizations, we have to have these type of things. So if they fold, what does that look like, and what would that cost the county to pay, you know, county employees to do these kind of services?
This upcoming year's budget for the county will go to the full commission at the end of this month. Now, it's important to make it clear that this is only the total for the sheriff's department's entire operating cost, not necessarily individual investigations. Now, both Commissioner Weiniger and Roach say that they expect the commission to move money around as needed when the sheriff's department and these other agencies come to them with the totals from this search.
Ansley, thanks. And investigators are still looking for the driver of a red Toyota Tacoma, a full bed ladder rack in the back. We're told the TBI stresses that the driver is a potential witness, not a suspect. To submit a tip, call the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-TBI-FIND or send your tip through an email to tipstotbi@tn.gov.